Welcome to another information session. This will be the third or fourth one for this morning. I know we've had a bit of a muck up with our times with daylight savings and the multiple states and multiple countries that we're in. So thank you for bearing with us on getting our times sorted properly for next week. My name's Alissa. I'm a health practitioner and also a national leader with this amazing health technology. Absolutely love working with some of the beautiful people that are here today. And I'm hoping that you guys are excited and open to learn something that is new, something that is breaking through records in what we're doing with health. We know that the breakthrough is bigger than we've probably ever seen before in the health industry. So welcome aboard. We've got some amazing speakers today to share with you what this health technology is and how it's going to work for you and for others. So we have got the amazing Stevie, who's a global leader, a passionate man about his Redox, training his team and getting this word out there to help thousands of people with their health and also with their wealth. We also have Dan Doyle here, who's another global authority, and he's going to share with us his amazing story of how this health technology has transformed his life, and as a result has now transformed literally thousands of people around the world, which is why we're all here. So thank you so much, Stevie and Dan. As I said before, I can't be here for too long, so want to introduce you both and looking forward to hearing, Stevie, your amazing presentation that you do on this amazing health technology.
Hey, thanks very much, Alissa. I really appreciate you having us here and appreciate your time is very short and appreciate you coming back the second time from the first time we mucked up with the with all of these time changes around the world. I don't want to put you on the spot, but real quick, I appreciate you because you are a professional in this health industry, and so you work a lot with, I think, with children specifically. Yeah. Why don't you just share real quick a couple of your thoughts on this technology and how you've been working with it in the health space?
Sure. So I own a pediatric clinic, so we work with children with disabilities and all sorts of challenges. We have multiple therapists and nutritional staff and GPs and all sorts that work with us. And what I've really found, particularly over the last little while, that a lot of our treatments that were really effective 10, 15 years ago just haven't been as effective in the last 5 years. And so thanks to Dan for nagging me about having a look at Redox, I kept putting it aside. As a health professional, I've got to be really careful of what I introduce into my clinic and how we're making sure we're aligned with best practice. And once I realized what this health technology was, I was literally blown away. And when I started adding this into treatment with clients, my family, myself, I've been able to see that really our redox therapy, we call it redox signaling molecules. This technology is the gap that we've had in the health industry. So, we can work with all sorts of treatments, even without amazing nutrition that we do. But really, when we add in this health technology, that's where we see people absolutely being able to heal and make progress in their therapeutic pathways and meeting the goals that they want to achieve. And I've seen things that I actually didn't think I'd see, so things that I'd never be able to expect with meeting goals. We've certainly exceeded that when we've added in this health technology. So for me, it's the missing link, the biggest piece of our puzzle. Health is always a combination of everything. It's never just one thing. We can't just have health tech, this amazing health tech, and sit at Macca's all day. But, I think it's the biggest missing piece to our health industry.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, I appreciate your point of view, especially being a health professional, and appreciate you putting this together for us. And I also very thankful that I get to work with you, even though you're even further away in the country from me now. But we get to come together on this, and when things go back to a little bit more normal, we'll be able to get together again and it's great working alongside you because you hold the mission of this company in your heart very sincerely, which, by the way, folks, is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And as you heard, excuse me, from Alissa, that's exactly what she's doing with her patients. She's been able to enhance all the great work she's already doing. So I appreciate being here. I know you're very busy professional and short on time, but I appreciate the little bit you gave us here.
My pleasure, and love to help. Thank you so much. Love working with you. And next time we'll be able to talk a little bit more because we'll get the times right.
That's right. That's right. It'll be a little bit earlier for everyone. All right, folks. Well, and I appreciate you all being here too. Your time is very valuable. If you paid money here, you didn't like what I had to say, I would just give you your money back, but I can't give you your time back. So thank you for spending that incredible, spending your valuables with me. I intend not to waste it. It was about almost 6 years ago now. My best mate you're going to hear about after me, or hear from after me, and about Dan Doyle. He introduced me to this, and at first he couldn't see, but I was looking at him through the phone a little bit cross-eyed. But once he started to explain what this was, and I opened up the computer and started doing some research, I was almost immediately compelled. It was almost from day one high priority for me to bring this information to everybody's attention, because it's high priority. It's very important what this technology is, and that you get this information because of the effect it is having on people, and because of the effect that it can have on you and your loved ones. You deserve to know about this. Whatever you do with it is up to you. But I do believe that when you see this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. This is something that is truly exceptional. It's having a very deep impact in bettering people's lives and changing them quite significantly. So let's jump into what I'm going to share with you. What it is nothing short of being the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. I'll say that again. There's no hype here. It is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical science experts say this. They're saying it's a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. This is an exciting and entirely new frontier in science. For 2 decades, science had declared it was impossible. It's a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world authority laboratory medical studies. A very, very advanced breakthrough, considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted it shut down. I don't think they wanted you to know about it, quite frankly. More about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, I want to be absolutely clear about what this is not. Because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. This is not a drug, not minerals, not vitamins, not antioxidants. It's not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser lights, roots, magical 5,000-year-old trees, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of all of that other stuff that's already out there. No. What we'll be talking about today instead, again, is an entirely new frontier in science. It goes beyond, well beyond nutrition. It goes well beyond any type of ingredients you already know about out there. This is a truly groundbreaking and category-creating healthcare breakthrough. Alissa redox cell signaling technology has in it active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Well, redox signaling molecules are made by your cells, so they are native to your body. That means they're already in your body. There's something that are from your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messengers that affect cell signaling, cell-to-cell communication, and gene expression, your genetic expressions, in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate tissue and maintain health by helping to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, detect and replace damaged cells. So basically, redox signaling empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this so important? Because we are all made of cells. We live and die at the cellular level. healthy cells, healthy life, right? So redox signaling molecules, they're the keys to life. Redox signaling is essential for the function of our normal physiology. All biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. In fact, if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, life ends. Now, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, can run around all day, not wake up sore the next day, and how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, with age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and other environmental assaults, our cells break down, and our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process that we just discussed becomes slow and sluggish. As such, our cells break down even more, and so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously, and so they don't do any scientific studies on their own. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. So ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translate to health at its most foundational level. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. Now, these genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Additionally, ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Head professors of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, this is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. It's safer than water. It's the most safe thing you could put in your body. There is no toxicity whatsoever. Why? Because redox signaling molecules, again, are native to your body. They're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to when it was younger and or healthier. So whether you have health challenges or loved ones you care about who have health challenges, if you have a wish to look, live, and feel young again, or maybe you have the good sense for protecting your health and don't want to become old and unwell, if you have goals of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's listen to some medical doctors right now and what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in, because it can be hard to see from the inside, right? And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28 Revitalizing Redox Gel and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. Now, these two products are supported and enhanced by their complementary and all natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture speaks 1,000 words. So let some of these pictures speak to you now. You're going to see more than anti-aging results. You're going to see age reversing results. You're going to see lines disappearing and wrinkles being ironed out, elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions being brought back to proper services, proper levels of the skin. Look at these first two pictures. All these four pictures are of the same lady, Rosie. But look at the first two, the dramatic difference there. Rosie, by the way, didn't notice these changes because she didn't take these photos. In fact, she went back to the person who recommended these products to her, which was her doctor, and said, I want my money back. This stuff isn't working. And the doctor took a photo before Rosie started using the products, and so took another one there and matched them up. And what do you think Rosie thought after that? So moral of the story is, when you get back with the person who invited you here to get started, and naturally you want to see how the products go, take photos. That's how you see how it goes. Also, keep a little scorecard for yourself so you can write down things that you can't take photos of: your energy, your moods, your sleep, your muscle and joint comfort, workout, stamina, recovery, seasonal issues. I mean, and any other sort of concerns or challenges you have. I mean, there's lots of things you can think of. Make sure you keep good records. Now, other moral of the story is 7 weeks. Look at the dramatic difference in just 7 weeks. And some people notice results in 7 days. Some people notice results in 7 minutes. I'm not kidding. Some people notice results right away. Some people, though, need to apply more product, more time, more patience. What we know scientifically is that it would be impossible, scientifically impossible, for redox healing molecules to not work in you. They work in every single person, every single time. However, what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to be able to notice the change. This is Dr. Marty Moran. He decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? I'll give you some clues. Have a look at the lines running down each corner of the mouth, either side of the nose. Can you notice any difference in the lines there? What about the cheeks? Do you notice anything around the cheek area, around the eye area? What about the biggest clue of all, how the glasses are slanting to one side, maybe suggesting more droopiness on one side of the face as opposed to the other? So hopefully you could see the definite differences there. And thank you, Dr. Marty Moran, for doing this experiment and literally walking around like a weirdo for 28 days just to show us how good Renew 28 is. And it's not just for your face. As you can see here, arms, hands, bellies. This is of one lady, 3 children later. And bums. This is a scientific study that was done because there were lots of reports coming in all over the world that people were using Renew 28 and claiming that their cellulite had disappeared. And so this world-renowned dermatological institute did a study to find out if it was true or not. It was a 12-week study. It was double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized community trial. And they found that the subjects that were using the Renew 28 did in fact have a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite after just 12 weeks. And so the scientists wanted to know what was going on. So they did ultrasounds on everyone. And they found that what was happening was the fat causing the cellulite, the subcutaneous fat, was actually being dissolved. And so Renew 28 is fantastic. It helps reduce the appearance of cellulite, wrinkles, it enhances skin texture and smoothing the skin, supports surface skin cell renewal for visibly younger looking skin. But it also soothes skin discomfort after things like maybe shaving or sun exposure or something else. But it's not just for the skin. Renew 28 also helps soothe discomfort around the body. And here's a little test you can do. When you go back to the person that's invited you, or you get your own Renew 28, if you have somewhere on your body that's hurting you, give it a score on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 means maximum discomfort. And it could be your neck, shoulder, elbow, hip, back, knees, anywhere on your body, fingers, toes, anywhere. Rub the Renew 28 gel on that spot 3 times in 5 minutes and see if the score you gave it before you applied the gel changes. Out of every 10 people we see, at least 9 or 10 people will notice a change inside of about 5 to 15 minutes. Now, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. So there's a very big opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these 3 professors back in '98 for their first discovery of redox healing molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is the National Library of Medicine, that's where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published. If you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 33,000 results. I have to work hard to keep up with this slide because there are more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. There are well over now 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox healing molecules. So according to medical scientific researchers, they're saying redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science. By the way, that will shape all of our lives in the coming years, is what they're saying. Let me give you some examples. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held about redox, and medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead for two simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that it was impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. And not only patented, not only is it not allowed to be copied, it can't be copied. There's no way to reverse engineer ASEA. There are trade secrets in making ASEA, like in Coca-Cola or KFC secret herbs and spices or the Big Mac special sauce. I wouldn't recommend taking any of those things for your health, but no one has been able to reverse engineer it. There's trade secrets in those products. It can't be copied. And ASEA is exactly the same. That means we have no copycats, clearly. We will have no copycats. And that means we have no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. And no other product in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Don't fall for attempts at clever marketing. They might copy our wording, but they can't copy the way our product works. It's impossible. Now, redox works on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well or at all without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody needs redox. And so therefore, ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors: healthcare wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from. Now, ASEA really is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission, first and foremost, however, is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people. We can't do that on our own, and so we look for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn commissions, money, just by sharing redox with others. So here's an example of how it works. You receive a residual income not only from the first purchase, but also from every single ongoing lifelong purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And you can refer as many people as you like. Every time they buy, again and again and again, you get paid again and again and again. On top, you also receive a residual income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person they and others also refer. So just like we recommend good movies, TV series, restaurants, cafes, books, whatever, people naturally tell people who naturally tell other people who then tell even more people. Word of mouth marketing is the most ancient and still today #1 most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. And there's no limits. Especially think about it, how connected the world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide. You could have organizations of bettering people's lives, being a force for good in the world, making a living while making a difference around the globe just by spreading the word. Now, ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening up new markets almost every single year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. So for people who are looking for an extra, part-time, full-time, or big time, or maybe a legacy leaving income for generations of loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. For people who are switched on, smart, business-minded, for people who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, this is a very significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income from the growth of this global expansion. But really, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's exactly what you get to do and be a part of with ASEA. Who you become and what you do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make you. However, you can make great money here, and you can even be rewarded on top with more commission bonuses and even all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world, and have really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, and a great lifestyle. So why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? And you know what? Maybe you are, because there are now hundreds of doctors all over the world now recommending Redox to their patients and seeing unprecedented results. But after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies proving ASEA, these pharmaceutical companies did offer to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights and ownership to the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down. They wanted ASEA to take everyone off Redox. Thankfully, founders of ASEA, Vertus Norton and his son Tyler Norton, said no to the payout and yes to the people who were already experiencing Redox. Because after Vertus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless to now experiencing life-changing power from Redox healing molecules, well, Vertus and Tyler were filled with a great sense of purpose and sincere feelings of responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so what had started as just a big business play had now become more. The founders of ASEA, Vertus and Tyler, turned down those huge sums of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to you and everyone without a prescription. And so, as demonstrated in this very first important decision, ASEA always puts people and principles before ego and economics. The ASEA founders and the ASEA corporate team come from Fortune 500 all the way up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. So they are exceptionally experienced in running very big, profitable, famous, household name companies. However, they pride themselves on never doing it at the cost of people, because they believe, and we all believe, at the end of the day, it's people that matter most. It is the effect you have on others that is the most valuable currency there is. So you're in good hands. Look, get back with the person who shared this with you. Don't worry about what the time is. They'll be glad to hear from you. Let them know what you've seen here, what stood out for you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point you to where you can find the answers. There's plenty of university studies, but most importantly, hundreds of thousands of people's real life-changing Redox experiences for you to see ASEA is the real deal. Now, we truly want to help you. So at the very least, I hope you'll become a part of this Redox reality. Would love to see you live better, healthier, younger, stronger, longer, happier. I've got to say though, one of ASEA's guiding principles is to become more. Because it's really what you become that determines what you can overcome, that ultimately determines your income in life. And when I first heard that, I got it, and I hope you got it too. So look, if you want a better life, income, lifestyle, if you'll also pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others. And your life will become better as a byproduct. As said by a very famous business teacher, help enough other people get what they want, and you can have everything you want. Service to many leads to greatness. So thank you for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. Nothing that I've said here, by the way, has been intended to diagnose any conditions that you may be going through. And also, ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Now, what I want to do is I want to introduce my best mate. This is who introduced ASEA to me. And he has an incredible story, which he'll share with you, which has been maybe a part of taking him to the top of this company. But I think it's more who he is. Anything he puts his mind to, he's able to accomplish. He's always been that kind of guy. However, he put his mind at one stage to try and overcome a very severe challenge, and it wasn't working out with him. I'll leave that story to him until he found the missing link. But he's managed to climb to the number 3 highest rank in this company currently. He's still going. He's a part of the $1 Million Earners Club of this organization. He's a part of the Premier Club of this organization. He is on the global advisory council for this company. This is how much they treasure him and value his experience and his knowledge. But most importantly, his heart. He's so awarded and so acclaimed and so rewarded because he's not only exceptionally good at bettering people's lives and being a force for good in the world, but it's sincerely what he lives for. He's a very generous man, very kind man, very witty man, very, very fun-loving. You can't help but have a good time around him. And I'm just forever grateful for everything he's not only done for all of you, but personally, the amount of impact he's had on my life too. And so you're in for a treat. Please put a virtual round of applause together for my very good mate, Dan Doyle.
Thanks, mate. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for being on this call. As you can see, I'm not in Hawaii at the moment. I'm actually in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, and I am in a hotel foyer, and they do have rules here. So if you see me covering up my face again, one of the managers is going to walk past and probably give me a smack on the wrist for not wearing it. But so just bear with me with that. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Looking forward to getting back to the fresh air of Hawaii next week. So these masks are coming in handy with the fires that are on here in Los Angeles at the moment, in California. I just came off a call and I spoke about legacy, and I just wanted to touch on that because there's a lot of people that are looking for something to get involved with, to be able to help with, to be able to create generational wealth for their family. And I can tell you that this company is dead serious about making sure that this company is going to be around for hundreds of years. Hearing from Tyler Norton directly, his success, the founder's success of this company will only come when I and you and anybody who's sharing this with people and building a business can put your feet up and not do any activity anymore, building their business, and after that, benefit your children, your children's children, and children's children's children. They're very, very serious about that. So this isn't a fly-by-night company. This company is going to be around for the long haul. And I'm really happy about that because I've got a goal in my 50s to be around for another 100 years. And I'm sure with this technology, we are going to be breaking a lot of records. Excuse a little bit of noise with the kids here in the foyer. So anybody who's on this call, who's looking at this for the first time, please relax, take a load off, uncross your legs and unfold your arms, because we're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to convince you of anything. We're simply here to share information, and whatever you do with that information is totally, totally up to you. I'm going to go into my story, the reason why I'm here today, physically and financially, where I came from growing up in Sydney, and what's led me to this call tonight. As Stevie said, and I just want to reiterate, because my story is very impactful, that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, but we have a profound breakthrough technology products that can signal our bodies to heal itself. So without any further ado, I did grow up in Sydney, Australia. I was one of these kids who hated school and did anything to distract myself from school. And in doing so, I played a lot of sports. And I played rugby, I did judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and ended up doing this thing called bodybuilding. And this is me at the age of 24 years old. So this is nearly 30 years ago. This was the start of my entrepreneurial days, where I started building and selling traditional businesses back when I was 21, 22, 23, 25, 30, 35, 40. I built 20 traditional businesses, most of them, 99% of them from inception. and employed about 3,500 people over that period of time. And if I fast forward to the end of my entrepreneurial days and, well, getting to the end of those days, you can see that even at the age 44, 20 years later, I still kept fit and healthy, not as a bodybuilder, but did a lot of cardiovascular work. And I thank goodness that I was in this condition, because the next year in 2011, the doctors gave me some very bad news. I was very in tune with my body, and I found something not quite right in my abdomen, and I used a lot of weed killer, Roundup from Monsanto. And the bad news came in the middle of 2011, and I started 2.5 years of hospital visits. And those hospital visits, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. You can see I've got no hair, literally from the top of my head to my toes. Good friend of mine, Johnny Manor, next to me, played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. And he'd been through what I was going through here in this photo already. And he'd had the good one, and I had 2 of the bad ones. And at 21, he was in remission. Life was going well for him, but unfortunately after this photo, he's came back and he went back into hospital. He started going through what I was going through in this photo, and he never came out of hospital. We lost him at the age of 23 years old, and it was a really sad time. So what we had at that time was very, very serious, and a lot of people around the world are going through this particular issue. So I asked my doctor to hit me between the eyes. What's going to happen? He said, get your affairs in order. So I made a point at that time to take the responsibility of my health off him and back into my own hands. And I moved to something that I wasn't used to, or I didn't really particularly believe in at the time, and that was alternative medicine, functional medicine, naturopaths, all these things that I never believed in, because I thought doctors were the people that looked after our health, but obviously that wasn't the case. I did some research, and my research led to an alkaline diet. So I cleaned up my diet, just some deep sea fish, organic chicken. As a matter of fact, I was a pescatarian back then, and some vegetables, salads, and water. I also found network marketing companies with good products. Now, to purchase off them was a hard pill for me to swallow, because I didn't believe in the network marketing business model, coming from being a traditional businessman. But I did buy products from Zango, Isogenics, LifeVantage, Max Products, Kangen Water, and I religiously took a lot of these products for 2 years, and this was the result. My blood works were still heading in the wrong direction, and I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. This photo was taken at the end of 2014 when a friend of mine reached out and said, I think I found something that can help. I flew over to Salt Lake City in Utah from Sydney. I started on this product to see in 3 hours it turned my health around. I was going through a detox. Toxins were coming out of my skin with little red spots all over my torso. A 20-year caffeine intolerance, a stomach problem, had gone away within 12 hours. And in 48 hours, all the lung damage that was caused from what they put me through in that hospital, and I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time, that issue had gone away in 48 hours, and my lungs were functioning perfect. I went back to Australia and I kept drinking the product. Now, the unfortunate thing was I came from being a very successful traditional businessman, going to a different restaurant every night if I wanted to fire sailing my businesses when I was told I had these 2 major health challenges, to going through what they put me through in that hospital, losing everything financially, living in a van, and almost going to the Salvation Army for food stamps. So I could only afford the maintenance amount of this product per week, per month. 1 bottle per week, knowing that I needed at least a bottle a day for what I was going through. I persisted with that. And I used to say it was the product that actually saved my life, that helped me to return my health. But recently, I've had to think about it. It was me actually sharing this and helping other people that helped me produce thank you checks that I received from the company that I invested back into my own health, that I could afford to take the amount of product that I needed to return my health. And just over 1 year on the product, the doctors gave me some really good news and told me there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports that were turning into that issue that people have as they get older had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose had gone away. All other sorts of lumps and bumps and issues that I had, a list as long as your arm. My whole body was rebuilt in 12 months, just over 12 months on taking this product. Now that was my journey back to health. Let's fast forward 2 years and have a look at the anti-aging effects. So what I always like to go back to here is what you're seeing here in this photo in 2014 is a reflection of what was happening on the inside. You can see my skin, the red and yellow around my eyes. 1 year later on the product, this is a reflection of what was happening on the inside at the time with the way I looked here, the way I was feeling. And 3 years on the product, you can see that this was a reflection of what was happening at that particular time of my life. And now I've been 6 years on the product this month, and I'm feeling fitter and better than I've ever felt in my whole entire life. So let's have a look at where this took me financially, because I heard about people achieving diamond in other businesses, in Amway, this way and that way, when I used to run the other way. And I knew it was substantial. I knew that people were doing well. I didn't know how they were doing it, or why they were doing it, or the business model or structure. I didn't understand anything because I stayed away from it. I stayed naive to the fact that there was a better way out there. And now I know what I know, coming from where I've come from, just sharing this with people, which is what the company helps us to do. And I believe that this company ticks every single box with, you know, Fortune 50 meeting network marketing with Virtus and Tyler Norton, running Fortune 50 companies for many years. Virtus Norton running, you know, legacy companies for decades. These guys own this company. The experience in our executive team, the experience in the field, a breakthrough which no other product can touch, compare, compete with. Compensation plan that's the most lucrative and generous compensation plan in our industry. The ethos of the company, the principles, values, ethics, and integrity that this company has, and what they drive this business with, and their intention to get this to the world. I mean, this is the perfect storm for us. We're in 33 countries. There's only 300,000 people that know about this product with a population of over 4 billion people. We haven't scratched the scratch. This is the most compelling opportunity that we will come across in our lifetime. Virtus Norton could have sold out to the pharmaceutical industry, as Stevie said, but he made a decision to leave this as his legacy to the world. Tyler Norton, his son, coming from running Fortune 50 in financial services, chairman of our company, has left this and leaving this as his legacy. I've finally found something that I can leave my legacy to the world with, to humanity, because I tried for many, many years through traditional business and never been able to achieve that, but doing it now. There's a lot of leaders on this call, a lot of people on this call that are also doing the same, and we invite you, for us to help you, to help other people to also leave your legacy to the world as well. This is a phenomenal opportunity. So we're not here to sell this to you or convince you of anything. We have the biggest breakthrough. We have the most compelling opportunity. In these times where people are trying to look after their health, just in general with economic times, let alone with a pandemic, but then we've got these horrendous economic times where a lot of people have lost their jobs and people are looking for home-based businesses. As I said, this is the perfect storm. This is the perfect opportunity to look after your own health, your family's health, your loved one's health, your friends, anybody you know. Share this with people, but also build and create generational wealth and a legacy that you can leave to your family. So guys, I thank you very much for coming on. I'm going to bring Stevie back on and we're going to do a live Q&A. Whether you want to put into the chat box questions for us, which I'll check now, or take yourself off mute and ask us questions live. We're here to answer questions. So we've got around about 10 minutes to answer any questions that you may have. One of the first questions that